Good evening, and welcome back to the only place where we look past the glamour to find the human soul beneath. You are watching Whatever You Need. Usually we talk about scripts, ratings, and red carpets. But today, the script has been discarded. Today we are not talking about characters, we are talking about people. If you believe in the power of raw, unfiltered emotion, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. And for those of you who want to support us as we navigate these heavy, important stories, I invite you to click the Join Cattle button. Your membership allows us to treat these delicate subjects with the time and respect they deserve. The entertainment world was completely paralyzed yesterday. We are used to seeing Sıla Türkoğlu as a pillar of strength, serene, composed, the master of her own image. But that image shattered in a single, devastating moment. While speaking publicly about Halil İbrahim Ceyhan's health, Sila couldn't hold back the tide. What was meant to be a brief, routine medical update transformed into one of the most emotional scenes we have witnessed in recent years. She dropped the mask of the impeccable actress to reveal herself simply as a woman who has looked into the abyss of loss. Today, we are going to walk through this heartbreaking moment, explore the secret battle Halil fought in the shadows, and understand why those tears mean more than any rumor ever could. To understand the impact of this event, you must visualize the scene. Sila appeared before the reporters not with her usual confident stride, but with a fragility that was immediately alarming. Her eyes were swollen, betraying hours, perhaps days, of tears. Her hands were clasped tightly together, white-knuckled, as if she were physically holding herself together to prevent her vulnerability from spilling over in the very first second. She tried to remain calm. She took deep breaths. But the rapid rise and fall of her chest told a different story. When she finally began to speak, her voice didn't just tremble, it broke. "You don't know how difficult it's been," she stammered, looking away from the cameras for a brief second. "You can't imagine how close we were to losing him." Those words sucked the air out of the room. Journalists, usually hungry for a scoop, instinctively lowered their cameras. The silence was heavy. This was not a press release. This was a confession of trauma. The realization hit everyone at once. While the world was speculating about projects and romance, these two were fighting a life-or-death battle in complete secrecy. We now know, thanks to sources close to the situation, that Halil had been facing a serious health problem for weeks, perhaps even months. In true Halil fashion, he kept it a secret. Why? Because of his relentless desire to appear strong, to be the pillar for everyone else, and his fear of burdening those he loves with worry. He played the role of the invincible hero until his body simply could not sustain the performance any longer. His condition worsened suddenly, forcing an urgent intervention. It was during this critical, terrifying period, completely unknown to the public until now, that the true depth of their bond was tested. Sila did not just send flowers. She remained by his side with an intensity and protectiveness that even the medical staff noticed. We are talking about long, sleepless nights in sterile hospital rooms. We are talking about the silent agony of waiting for test results. We are talking about whispered prayers in the dark when the rest of the world was asleep. This was an exhausting struggle endured far from the flashbulbs, in the quiet corners where celebrity means nothing and survival means everything. I want to pause here. We often demand everything from our stars, their time, their art, their private lives. But seeing this level of raw pain reminds us of their humanity. I want to ask you, how does seeing this vulnerability change your perception of Sila and Halil? Share your thoughts and your well wishes in the comments below. And please, hit the like button as a sign of respect for their courage in sharing this struggle. It was precisely the memory of these dark nights that broke Sila in front of the cameras. After a failed, valiant attempt to maintain her composure, she brought a hand to her face and began to cry. It wasn't a loud, dramatic, theatrical cry. It was a restrained, heartbreaking sob, the kind that comes from deep exhaustion and lingering fear. I thought I was going to lose him, she managed to whisper. There were times when he tried to smile, but I could see his pain. I saw how he struggled just to keep me from worrying. And that broke me. These words moved even the most cynical reporters. They painted a picture of two human beings stripped of their fame. According to a source close to Halil, Sila cried not just because of the diagnosis, but because of the psychological toll of watching him suffer. She witnessed his weakness, his deepest fears, and his vulnerability, sides of him he rarely shows to anyone. Seeing the man she relies on struggling to breathe, struggling to stay on his feet, was a trauma all its own. You feel powerless, she said, her voice barely audible. And that powerlessness hurts like nothing else in the world. In one of the most poignant moments of the press conference, Sila revealed a specific interaction that seems to have scarred her heart. During the most critical days, when Halil was at his weakest, he took her hand. Even in his pain, his instinct was to protect her emotions. He looked at her and said, "Don't cry. I don't want you to remember me like this." That sentence shattered her. It is a sentence that speaks of a fear of mortality, but also of a deep love. He wanted to remain strong in her eyes, even at his lowest point. I wanted to tell him that I didn't care how he was, that I would stay by his side no matter what happened, she confessed through her tears. But I couldn't. I could only cry. This admission has flooded social media with support. Fans are not just talking about a ship or a couple, they are talking about the incredible humanity of this bond. It is no longer speculation, it is a connection forged in the fire of crisis. And what of Halil? The actor is currently in a stable but delicate phase of recovery. But news travels fast. We have learned that Halil saw the video of Sila's statement. According to a close friend, seeing her break down for him moved him deeply. His reaction was characteristically humble. "I don't deserve her tears," he reportedly said. But those who know him best say that, deep down, he knows the truth. He knows that those tears are irrefutable proof of his place in her life. Tears like that are not shed for colleagues. They are not shed for friends. They are shed for the people who hold pieces of our souls. This episode has marked an unexpectedly intimate chapter in their story, a story where love manifests as worry, fear, fragility, and hope. However, the most revealing part of this story didn't happen in front of the microphones. It happened when the cameras stopped rolling. The scene of Sila crying publicly is etched in our memories, but what happened afterward, away from the noise, is even more moving. After finishing her official statement, Sila quickly retreated to a private room inside the building. It was there, behind a closed door, that the dam finally broke completely. Witnesses say that once she was alone, she collapsed into a chair, burying her face in her hands. She wasn't just crying for the press anymore. She was releasing months of accumulated tension. She struggled to regulate her breathing. She wasn't just crying for what Halil had suffered, she was weeping for the emotional burden she had silently carried alone. The fear that haunted her every night. The uncertainty of waking up not knowing if he would be better or worse. A person very close to her, present in that room, revealed that Sila repeated one phrase over and over like a mantra of trauma. "I thought he wasn't going to make it. I thought I was going to lose him." These words show the true level of her involvement. While the world saw her posting about projects and attending events, she was living a double life. She was witnessing the progressive deterioration of someone who means the world to her. As she sat in that private room, trying to compose herself, she was haunted by the memory of his forced smiles, the smiles he wore just to keep her from falling apart. Sıla Türkoğlu didn't want to give details about the future. She didn't announce a project or confirm a relationship status. But she left us with a final phrase that resonated louder than any grand declaration. He's alive, he's better, and that's all that matters. In the end, this isn't a story about celebrity. It's a story about the fragility of life and the strength of the bonds that tie us together. It's about the tears we cry when we realize how much we have to lose. We send our deepest strength to Halil for his recovery, and our immense respect to Sila for her bravery. This has been a difficult but necessary episode of Whatever You Need. We will continue to follow Halil's recovery closely. If this story touched you, please share it. Subscribe to the channel to stay with us through the highs and the lows. And consider joining our membership to support this community. Until next time, hold your loved ones close. Goodbye.